Hey guys, if you've been watching the channel for a while, you may already be aware that a lot of the outdoor stuff that I film is done with either the Osmo Pocket or increasingly more often now with the Hero 8. But as of about maybe 6 weeks ago or so, maybe 2 months ago, I got the Sony a6600. And I got it with the kit lens, the 18-135 Sony lens. And I'm not using that particular lens right now. I actually added the Sigma 16 millimeter f1.4, and that's actually what we're looking at right now. So that's an equivalent of a 24 millimeter crop factor on this particular camera. So that's what you're seeing right now, and I've got the Sony a6600 on the tripod and I'm using that. But since I've had this camera, and I really love this camera, and I'm super looking forward to getting outside and using it more in some more interesting scenery than this. But in the meantime, I picked up some accessories, not all of which I've been happy with, but I'm going to share with you the ones that I've actually been very happy with. And since I can't show you the camera and the lens, I just put the boxes up here, and maybe I'll flash some stills of the actual equipment on the screen there somewhere along the way for you to look at. So I wanted to share these cool accessories with you in case you happen to be a Sony camera user. Now, some of the accessories are specific to the a6000 line, and some of them are specific to the a6600 and the a7 series, the larger full-frame Sonys. But I will point that out as we talk about these. It's just a couple of things that I think you might really like. So first of all, if you have a Sony's a6000 series, I bought this. This really isn't something to show you, so I'll put it up on screen now so you can see it. But I got it from Amazon. It's from a company called PCTC, and it's a 3-pack of these glass screen covers for the LCD panel on the back of the Sony a6000. So unlike a lot of the other sort of swivel, fully articulating LCD screens that you'll get on some of these digital cameras, where you can flip it around and actually, when you're storing it, not have the LCD facing out in your camera bag. The Sonys don't do that. They just lay flat and the screen is exposed. So you're likely over time, as you stow it and bring it back out, to get some scratches on that display. And I wanted to prevent that. So one of the things I ordered was this particular screen protector. Now, it was only $6.88 at the time that I ordered it on Amazon. And as usual, I'll put links in the description below if you're interested in checking any of this stuff out. But it's super cheap. It came in this nice little wooden box, which, you know, who cares? But there's 3 of them in there. I've only used one so far, obviously. And I was surprised how easy it was to install without getting bubbles and dust and all that stuff. They give you everything you need in here to make sure you get a really clean install. It literally took me 60 seconds to open the box and get it on the camera. So I feel much better about the fact that my LCD screen on the Sony is exposed now because I got a protector on it for cheap. So that's good. Now the next thing I wanted to share with you is batteries, right? So the Sony a6000 series has sort of notoriously had crappy batteries and crappy battery life. So with the a6600, they came out with the upgraded battery compatibility to the Sony Z battery that you find in the larger full-frame camera. So it's the same battery. It's what is it? It's the FZ100 battery from Sony. So they only give you one, and they don't give you a charger for it. So the only way to charge it is to plug your camera in. So that's not ideal. If you're going to be using your camera a lot, you're probably going to want more than one battery, and you'd ideally like to be able to charge batteries while you're using the camera. So I went and looked to see what a replacement Sony battery was, and they were about $78 on Amazon. So I called up a friend of mine, Robby from Adventure Archives. I'll put his channel down there. If you haven't seen his channel, great hiking channel, so I highly recommend that. But he has a Sony a7S2, I think, but it uses the Z-style battery, and I wanted to get his experience and recommendation if he had, because I had heard some people say don't buy non-Sony branded batteries, it's a bad idea. But after talking to him, he recommended this product from a company called RAVPower, RAVPower. Now I'm actually using one of the RAVPower batteries in the camera right now, and so one of these is the Sony battery. Now I have to say, these work absolutely great. Now I did some testing on these, and the RAV batteries, they are a slightly lower milliamp hour rating. So the Sony battery is a 2280 milliamp hour battery, and the RAVPower batteries are only a 2040 milliamp hour battery. So there's slightly less capacity. So I actually did some testing on this to see what kind of continuous use can you actually get out of these. And what I did to test them is I put my camera in 1080 mode because I didn't want to run my memory card out of space, and just let it record straight away as long as it could while the battery would continue operating. What I got was just a little over 4 hours, maybe 4 hours and 10 or 15 minutes out of the Sony battery, and I got about 3 hours and 10 or 15 minutes out of the RAVPower batteries. Now you might be saying, well, that's a whole hour less. True. So the Sony battery costs $78 for just one on Amazon. And the RAVPower batteries cost about $58, but you get two of them and a charger. So for like 20 bucks less, you get two batteries, which gives you over probably 6.5 hours of record time versus a single battery from Sony. And you get the charger, and it does come with a little USB cable. They don't give you the AC adapter part, but you can plug it into any USB AC module and charge it with that. And it's got sort of an Android style micro USB connector on it. I wish it had a Type-C because everything seems to be switching that way, but it still is like a lot of things using the older style micro USB connector. But super happy with these, and I guess the real test will be over time. Do they lose their capacity more quickly than the Sonys? And according to my friend Robby, he says he's been really happy with his, and he's had his for quite some time. And so it's always good to get a testimony from somebody who has used them over an extended period of time, rather than somebody who just got them and has only had them for a week. Now, I've been using these for 2 weeks now, not much longer than a week, but so far, so good. I didn't get any compatibility issues with the Sony camera telling me I didn't like the battery or anything like that. It fits exactly the same way that the Sony battery does and just works. So highly recommend that. Now, another accessory that I got, and again, this was something that I had thought about and sought out the recommendation from my friend Robby, was this Peak Design camera clip. Now this is called their Capture Camera Clip version 3, because they had a couple different earlier iterations of this design. So they've made it a little bit lighter and a little bit more compact. Now it does come with these little thumb screws that allow you to attach it to a backpack shoulder strap, or you can attach it this way to a belt. And it also comes with a base plate that is kind of a standardized base plate that'll fit your Arca Swiss tripod connector. So I'm actually using that base plate on the bottom of my camera right now because it snaps into my tripod super easy. But it just slides in there and clicks into place, and it is super secure. Now the thing is with these are not cheap. They're very well made, and I think they've gone out of the way to make sure that you feel secure, that your camera equipment worth hundreds or thousands of dollars is not going to go tumbling to the ground. So you have a lot of confidence in how this thing is built. It really does feel precision engineered and produced. So I'm very happy with it, but it is a little bit pricey. Now when I bought this, it was, I want to say it was 70 bucks and 75 with tax. And I just looked on Amazon. I was sitting down to get ready to do the video, and I realized that they actually are running this at a reduced price. They're like $56 now. So I kind of regret paying full price. But if you haven't bought one yet and you're looking for something to be able to, quick access, clip your camera on rather than carrying it with a strap around your neck, Robby says he'll never go back. And the few times that I've used this so far, I have to agree. It's very convenient, an easy way and secure way to keep your camera stowed when you're not holding it in your hand. So highly recommend checking one of these out. Now it does also come with a little Allen wrench that you can use with some permanent screws that are not thumb mounted. So you can actually, if you're going to carry this on a particular configuration the same way every time and you don't really want to move it around a lot, you have the option to replace these little round thumb screws here with the other thumb screws that you tighten down like in a semi-permanent sort of mount with that hex wrench or that Allen wrench. So they give you what you need to do that if that's how you want to do it. But if you're going to move it around from time to time, or you want to take it off, especially if you're going to put it on your belt, for example, then these little thumb screws get the job done pretty well. So super highly recommend that one. I should say one more thing about the Peak Design. This obviously fits any camera. So anything that's got a quarter 20 mount on it. My only complaint, by the way, I'll say this too, is that the plate, the little Arca Swiss plate that you attach to the bottom of your camera, it doesn't have a thumb screw tightener. You really do have to use the Allen wrench that they give you in order to tighten that down. That's not ideal, but I I actually, after I got this, I made sure that the plate that it comes with also fits my tripod. So I'm not really worried about that because I don't intend to really ever probably take it off of my camera, except in rare circumstances. But you do need an Allen wrench to do that. They give you the Allen wrench, but it's just one more thing to kind of carry around. It's got a little key ring thing on it so you could attach it to your key ring, but you know, it's not ideal, but it does get the job done. So having said that, this thing obviously fits kind of anything with a quarter 20 mount on it that you might want to clip to your, you know, clip to your belt or your shoulder strap. So not just a Sony camera, obviously. All right, so the other thing really just goes for any device that's using memory cards. Since I do a lot of stuff with the GoPro, and now I've started doing stuff with the Sony, well, the Sony uses the full-size SD card format, and the GoPro uses the micro SD. So when I'm getting the footage off of the cameras, I've got two different style memory cards. You know, I've got the full-size SD and the micro. This has a slot for both, and what's cool about it is it is a USB 3.0, and I can put both cards in there at the same time, and it assigns them separate drive letters. So I don't have to do them one at a time. I can just throw both cards in there, pull all of my clips down at once, and just sort of walk away and let it copy so I get everything backed up onto my main editing PC. I just find this super helpful. This thing was 10 bucks on Amazon, and it's made by Anker, and Anker makes a lot of different products. I have a couple of USB charge bricks by this company, and maybe a couple of car chargers and things like that. So I've always had good luck with this particular brand. So if you were looking for a card reader for your PC, I don't think you can go wrong with this for 10 bucks. It's very fast, lets me get pretty good fast transfer rate rather than having to go through, you know, an older style USB connection and then do the cards one at a time like I had been doing. So something as simple as a little $10 guy like this can really make just a little bit of a positive difference in your quality of life when it comes to managing all the files that we generate with video. So anyway, that's all I've got for you today. I hope you find the information helpful. If you did, please give us a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, consider subscribing. And if you like outdoor content, check out some of that stuff as well. And as soon as all this craziness blows over and we can get back outside, we will be doing that just as soon as we can. So thanks for joining us. Hope to see you in the next one. And until then, have fun out there.